Well, for many families across the Midlands, the school year is already underway, while others are counting down to the first day of class. Whether your child has already headed back or is still preparing, this time of year can bring a mix of excitement and anxiety, especially for younger students. Well, joining us this morning is Dr. Sandra Linder, an early childhood education expert at Clemson University, to share some ways parents can help children build confidence, ease first day jitters, and set the stage for a successful school year. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, thank you.
All right, let's start with this. We know that the first day of school and thinking about a new school year can bring a lot of excitement, but also anxiety. What are some things that loved ones and parents can do to help with that transition of going back to school for kids?
Sure, I think that there is a lot that families can do to support children. The first being to keep it positive at home. So those first days of school can be very nerve-wracking, particularly for young children who are just starting out with routines and with having to follow maybe some rules that they're not used to at home. And so parents can really set a positive atmosphere in the mornings for children, putting some music on, getting them ready for the day, setting routines at home that they might see in school, like what can you do every single day together to get ready? Maybe it's around hygiene, maybe it's around sitting down for breakfast, maybe it's around doing a task in the morning that's fun for them to get energized. All of these things can help them to prepare for entering school.
And for younger children who may be dealing with a little bit of separation anxiety, we know parents deal with that as well. What are some things that parents can do to help with that?
Sure. I think parents are just as nervous around this time as their kids, but certainly there is a feeling of, being alone at school and not necessarily knowing the kids around them, the teachers. So parents can help, perhaps by giving them something that they can hold on to during the day, like a bracelet or even a stuffed animal. That can certainly help. Many schools in South Carolina allow parents to bring the child to the classroom on the first day. So I would definitely recommend trying to do that with your child, walking into the classroom with them, having them show you places around the classroom. I'm excited. If it's possible to meet the teacher before the school year and maybe establish some connections that way, that's also a great strategy for parents to help ease that transition.
And one of the biggest things, especially for younger children, is helping to build that confidence. And you speak a lot about routines. Can you speak more to the importance of building strong routines? Because that really does help build that confidence for kids.
Absolutely. Routines are a critical way to really help children develop confidence for school and also for life. This is not something that is isolated to young children, early childhood. It really is something that carries throughout our life. These routines help us to create a sense of confidence throughout the day. I like to encourage parents to have 3 times during the day when you want to have healthy routines built. And those routines are really central to you and your family. You know, you might have working parents, you might have caregivers outside the family coming to help. Every situation is different, so routines will look different for every family, but you want to establish them in the morning, you want to establish them after the school day, and you want to establish them before bed. So whatever they may be for your family, those 3 time periods during the day are critical. In the morning, it might be around getting ready for school, of course, but in the afternoon, it's really about establishing communication between you and your child, getting them to tell you about their day, asking questions that get them to encouraged to communicate with you about what happened during the school day. Not how was your day, because oftentimes that doesn't really give you much, but things like, what was the best thing that happened to you today? Tell me something funny that happened to you today. Really pointed questions that help them to start to communicate with you. That's really critical for those after school routines. Also, things like having a space in your home to store your materials from school, maybe to put papers from the teacher, having a space where you can sit down with your child while they're maybe doing work from school with you. Those are things that you want to establish in your home. In the evening, you want to think about removing technology, of course, about an hour before bedtime to give them the space to self regulate. You want to think about reading with your child if possible, sitting down and having a story together. Doing those things will help them to feel the routine of the day. And
And I love that you talked about those pointed questions. Me and my family at the end of the school day, we would go around the dinner table and say, what was your high of the day and what was your low of the day? And so that was something that stuck with me even at this age. So I love that you spoke about that. Now, I want to dive a little bit deeper in talking about confidence. There may be some parents who are worried that their children may struggle academically or socially. How can they help build confidence when those challenges arise?
Of course, and this is, again, something that is not, central to early childhood, but carries across all grade levels. That confidence is so very important, and we talk a lot in education about developing a growth mindset, in that you may not be able to do something today, but eventually, if you keep on persisting and working towards it, you will be able to do it. And so failure, or making mistakes is really seen as a time for learning, a site for creating space for learning. So at home, that idea of a growth mindset should be really central to everything you do. We didn't do it today, but there's a time where we will do this. So I think that parents can use what's called positive reinforcement and highlighting the things that children do well every day, highlighting their strengths and building on that, and then finding ways that we can work towards a goal. So setting goals together and then using that positive reinforcement along the way to really settle in that growth mindset is very important.
Oh, that's so good. That positive reinforcement and the idea of, hey, you might not be the best at it today, but keep working. I feel like that can even work for adults as well. That's just advice that we all can take this morning. And my
Yes,
final
good
question
for
for
parenting.
Yes, absolutely. And my final question for you this morning, if you could give parents one piece of advice for helping their child have a successful first week of school, whether it's a child in elementary school, a child in high school, or even ones who are going off to college, what would that piece of advice be?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I would encourage my children to ask questions as much as possible. Asking questions of their friends helps them to make connections and find ways that they could make bridges between people. Asking questions of their teachers allows them to build relationships and allows them to, again, find those connections and help them to navigate what might be a stressful time. And it kind of takes the pressure off of them. If they're the ones asking questions, people are maybe not expecting them to respond. So it allows them some time and space to build the confidence to be able to share their own thoughts in a way that's comfortable for them.
Dr. Sandra Linder with Clemson University, thank you so much for your time. These were such great pieces of information. I feel like not only for kids getting ready for school, but some things you said, I'm putting in my pocket as an adult because these really are great in helping build confidence at any age. Again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
You too as well. All right, my friends, again, this interview, a wealth of knowledge. So what we're going to do is put this interview on our website, WLTX.com, so you can check it back out anytime, whether you are working with your young ones as they are navigating elementary school or your kids going off to college, or maybe you just need a reminder that, hey, you might not be great at it right now, but you have time to keep trying and do your best.